truck in a shop. Baby got gone and the bank won't stop. Calling about money, but there just ain't none. I got 99 problems, but a fish ain't one. Weeds too high and the corn's too low. Ain't a damn thing scared of my old scarecrow. Working ain't over when the day is done. Man, I got 99 problems, but a fish ain't one. Yeah, I'm wearing them out, reeling them in, floating on a six-pack second wind. Sitting here, setting hooks in the setting sun. And I'm fighting the fight, seeing the light in this race called life we run. Man, I got 99 problems, but a fish ain't one. I got a wore out front and a sunburned back, running low on bait, but looky there, what's that? A boatload of girls and here they come. I got 99 problems, but a fish ain't one. Yeah, I'm wearing them out, reeling them in, floating on a six-pack second wind. Sitting here, setting hooks in the setting sun. And I'm fighting the fight, seeing the light in this race called life we run. Man, I got 99 problems, but a fish ain't one. Looks like them girls got a little bit of room on that party pontoon for me.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the main event. Let's get ready to rumble!
Y'all ready for this?
Good morning, everybody. What is up? What is up? All right, let's go ahead and dive on into this. I'm going to shrink this down for just a second, give you guys some live updates before we get our buddy Todd on the phone. How's everybody doing this morning? I know it's a little bit early, but since both our fishermen are Eastern guys, they are already out to a good start. Both of them putting up fish. Bear with me one second here. All right, we'll search up here. Doug Wilson's got a beast on the board already. He's got, I believe it was a 22 and a half. Let's see here. So we're sitting Doug Wilson at 51 3/4 with 22 1/4 and 2 at 14 3/4. Are those the same fish? They are not. Okay. And then Jeremy Baker's at 1 19.5-inch bass. So got some catching up to do, but we're not going to sit here and talk about that. We're going to get these boys on the phone. So let me go ahead and start with Jeremy Baker. Todd's going to be joining us pretty much throughout the day as well. I'll be getting him on here in just a little bit. Well, Jeremy might not be able to answer right now. No answer from Jeremy. All right. Let's try Mr. From what I understand, Jeff Holland is going to be following Doug Wilson around. And I looked last night, and I had his Skype information, so hopefully that portrays over. Maybe. All right. Let's see here. Good morning, Mr. Chris. Nice to see you here, buddy. How are you doing today? Scott, I'm not going to butcher your last name, sir, but good to see you here today, sir. All right, let me, it's a little bit early for me. I woke up a little bit earlier than normal just to get on here for you guys, so just bear with me. I'm still trying to wake up. Let me see here. I do have John Holland's Skype information. Just have to get the computer to read it. For some reason, it doesn't want to, but I've got a CID. So just bear with me here. Found it. We'll see if they have service. We might be having a little bit of time to talk show until we get a hold of these boys. That's okay. We're going to make it interesting either way. This is the KBBT Championship. Doug Wilson's we'll see if he'll answer. Doug's not answering either. Let me see if I can get a good old picture of this fish that's coming up real quick. We'll see if we can't get a picture of Doug Wilson's fish here. Well, they are not answering at the moment. They're going at it. Let's check on our buddy Greg. You know, Greg actually has a fish. He does. I'm not going to say he doesn't have a fish this morning. Greg's got a fish on the KBF Potomac River. He's one of the first guys, but John Mayhews is leading it and already has 84 inches. That is crazy. Let me go ahead and get in here real quick, and I apologize, guys. We're gonna try to get him on the phone. Good morning, Mr. Greg.
What's going on, buddy?
Hey, I wasn't gonna make the same mistake twice. I told everybody you had a fish.
Listen, not only did I have a fish, I had the first fish again, and it's the first fish curse.
Oh no.
Yeah. So I had a massive snakehead on. It got off. I had 3 blow-ups on a buzzbait. Just didn't hook them. So not fishing clean at all, man. And then the tie is at its deep low right now. So I'm just waiting for the tide to change and see what happens, man. But it's been a struggle here, man. My spot, I busted a bunch of fish on, just has not produced yet. But I'm just gonna keep at it, man.
Well,
Hopefully they'll come by.
I'll tell you, OBS with you on video, OBS just canceled my whole scene with Skype on it. So we're talking, and while we're on air, I'm recreating a scene. That's a first. All right, we'll get it in here, guys. Don't worry, it's pretty easy to do the Skype scene.
Yeah, it's easy. I would love to catch a snakehead for you guys on air, man. That would be so cool.
That did not work at all. Yeah, it's been a morning already. I couldn't get a. There we go. Now we're on air. Now we got it. Perfect. First time recreating a scene on air.
Uh-huh.
I tried to get a hold of Jeremy Baker and Doug Wilson and John Holland. No answers from any of them this morning, but they all had. Doug Wilson's got a 22 and a quarter on board already.
I saw that, man. I saw that. I was like, that's a dagger. But Jeremy Baker has his first fish at 19 and a half. The streak continues of a 19 and a half first fish, which means this might be a good day for him, man. So don't give up hope on him yet.
Good morning, Mr. Jason Starley. He's joined us, but he's always the early bird, so we expect him here every day.
That's right. Exactly.
But
so tomorrow, man, is the day we get to meet up.
We do.
My trip starts tomorrow. So pretty excited. Good
morning, Conrad Benetti. Conrad's with us this morning. The previous champ. But what do you think about old Mr. Mayhew's leading the pack right now?
It doesn't surprise me. He's up north. A lot of the north guys right now on the Potomac River are doing well. The tide changed. The tide change is a little bit ahead of what we are down here. So it makes sense, man. Mayhew's, I know the spot he's probably at. And it's hit or miss, but he hit on this morning. So good on him, man.
No kidding. He didn't miss today. And with previous KBF events, I don't know anything about the Potomac River, but 84 and 3/4 is what I think he's at. That is that wins 9 out of 10 of these recent KBF events.
Yeah, I think again. I mean, anything can change here, man. I mean.
What do you predict takes the pot today?
I think you have to go 90. I think you have to go 90.
Did you see Chad Hoover's snakehead?
Yeah, and I know exactly where he caught it.
I want to go catch snakehead now. That thing was huge.
Oh yeah, actually that's an average size.
That's average? Oh.
That's average. Yep.
That's a lot bigger than I don't know. It looked a lot bigger in the picture than some of the bowfin that we have around here. But we've got some pretty massive bowfin.
Yeah. Yeah. So it's that's an average size, but it's always fun, man. I mean, it definitely it's definitely a lot of fun, man, for sure. But
well, we might not be able to have any KBBT championship footage at the moment, but we do have Greg Nozar on the water, and that's good enough for us.
It's fishing.
Yes.
I'll tell you what. Here, I'll turn my camera around. See if I can turn my camera around. Oh, I don't know if I can do this on Skype. Yeah, there you go. This is what I'm fishing.
Oh, that looks beautiful.
So this is a massive grass flat, and you can see the shoreline, and I'm fishing off the shore, and the reason being is because we're in about 3-4 feet of water. You can see how muddy the water is and how the grass is up. But a lot of times these bass, I mean, they're not going to be on the banks. They're going to be pushed in like at low tide, and when the tide comes in, they'll push into this grass flat here. And all I'm doing is taking a swim bait, buzz bait, what have you, and just go right above the grass and wake them up a little bit. They're here, but again, they're so finicky right now. The temperatures this morning is like, when we launched was like, I don't know, 63, 64, which is, you know, cooler than what it has been. It's supposed to get to like 76 today. But they're just hiding out in this grass, man. So
Now, what kind of swim bait are you using for that?
Okay, so I'll show you.
You're teaching me something here. I'm curious.
So we're matching the hats, right? So this is a 4-inch or 3-inch or 4-inch swim bait with a 1/8 weighted hook.
Is that a Kitech?
It is not. You know whose this is?
Whose is that?
This is that boy, AJ Ortero, that we had on air.
Impressive.
Drag set fishing.
Impressive.
And this, I'm telling you, the bait he made, you know, I fished it a couple times. It's so durable. The hook set's amazing. I've fished now for 4 days, and I've changed my bait 1 time, and I've caught I don't know how many bass and snakeheads. So I'm impressed with it, man.
I think I'm going to try that strategy next weekend. I have still yet to really jump into the swim bait game, but watching you throw it over that grass, I'm sitting here going, you know what? Maybe I should give it a shot. I might have a rod with that tied on.
Well, they were busting shad earlier this morning. Like, you know, we were out here, you know, 5 o'clock, 5:15. Of course, lines weren't in until 5:30, and so they were just busting the shad like crazy right before lines in, which always happens. So I threw buzz bait, you know, start off the morning, like 6 casts in, I catch one. I'm like, oh, this is gonna be a good day, and it's the first fish on the board curse, man, for me.
2 times in a row.
I know. So anyway, just we got to find them, man. Got to wake them up a little bit.
Oh, I'm sure you'll get into it. You just fishing that, you know, it's one of those areas that it can be any cast. That's the beauty about fishing grass.
Well, it can be any cast, and it can be any species. That's what's so great about the Potomac River, man. I mean, it's just really, really cool, man.
Starley said that shad spawn ends so quickly it's hard to stay on it.
It is. He's 100% right.
Uh-oh, we've got Mr. Jeremy Baker on the line.
Sweet.
Good morning, Mr.
What's happening, guys?
Jeremy
morning,
Baker.
sir.
Hey,
How you doing, man?
be doing better if this fish I'm on would cooperate.
Well, the good news is your first fish again was 19.5 inches, man. So that's always a good thing. That's like 5 times in a row.
That's a good start. And I had an eagle buzz me. That's got to be something.
I agree.
An eagle buzz? What? Hold on. What is that? Is that like northern slang? What does that mean?
I mean, the eagle came by his head.
An eagle flew right over my head just now.
Oh my goodness! No wonder he didn't answer the first time.
I know.
I have yet. Our eagles aren't that aggressive, I guess. We just get to see them, but they don't really dive bomb us.
So Jeremy,
he just gave me a show. He didn't dive on me, but I'm gonna hook
Jeremy,
up the ram out real quick.
Yeah, are you seeing them? Are you seeing them and they're just not hitting?
Yeah. Basically, this was my first stop this morning. I'm spending too much time on it.
Uh-huh.
But I have a good one right here, and I'm trying to sweet talk it as much as I can to get this thing to bite, but it ain't been working.
I got you.
All
Well, the beauty to it, Doug Wilson, we can't get on air, so you don't have to see him catch a fish, but you might have to watch Greg catch one.
I'd love to take that one.
I'm trying, man.
How's it going
We
out there for you?
would love to see Greg catch one because it would be his first KBBT live fish.
Yeah, I know. It's going like I caught one 6 or 7 casts in, put the first fish on the board on the tournament, and then it's the first fish curse for me, man. So
Yeah.
I haven't caught one since.
I'm right with you right now. It's cold.
Yeah, same here, man. It's a little cooler.
It's even cooler down here. It's in the low 70s this morning. I walked outside in shorts this morning and walked right back in.
Yeah, we're
I
lucky
guess-
to hit 65, I think, today here. The north wind.
I'll tell you right now, I would love to be fishing my bodies of water with this cooler temperature right now. That's one difference it makes in the south. When you get a cooler snap like this, your bass you get an extra 2 hours of fishing compared to them shutting off at 7 o'clock.
I was hoping to dip. This is supposed to be a 2-fish spot, and I'm out. I caught a smaller one, and this fish chased it. And he looks like a good one. I'm gonna give him a little bit more time, and I'm gonna have to move. But
Oh, okay. So you do have another fish then?
I'm working on one. No, I lost a little one at the boat, but he chased it right to the boat.
Oh, okay.
I'm hoping he's
You had quite the fan base. There was a whole lot of hashtag Team Baker going on last night.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. They've been real supportive. Got a lot of phone calls, and I need to produce to that. Give us something to cheer about. After I leave here, I'm going deep. I'm gonna have to get on a post-spawn bite. And hoping to get out of here in time before the wind picks up later. Get over the better.
Jeremy, you got a spot lock going?
No, I got the Acta-Thumb. I just keep hitting the button. Right now I'm anchored.
So are you fishing a bedded fish right now, or is it just a fish that's
Yeah,
chilling?
it's murky. I can just see like where the bed's at, and I get a glimpse of them. But I can't actually. I know he's there.
You said you seen it earlier. Did it look like a 20-inch fish?
Yeah.
Oh,
Darn close.
good
Trying
morning.
to aggravate him, but the only thing happening is me getting aggravated. Don't have to give in eventually.
It doesn't seem like the morning bite really did a whole lot for either one of you guys. I mean, you both got a really good fish right out the gate. Doug's caught a couple smaller ones since, but I'm kind of going with Greg. I think that northern wind, that cooler temperature might have shut those Florida strain bass off for the first part of the day.
The way it's going right now, I'd be all right with that.
I was expecting to show up at 2 5-fish limits, but it looks like today we might have both of you just grinding it out.
Hey Marcus, I'm going to make a move for about a mile. So if you hear a bunch of paddling, it's just me making a move. So.
Jeremy, is it windy up there, or am I catching wind from Greg?
No, it's windy.
Okay. I'll catch wind from you, but if it's Greg, I'll mute him. I'd love to see a smallmouth this morning. I don't get to fish at all this weekend, so I would like to see some.
Jeremy, how far do you have to go if you have to go off to the post spawn spots?
My next two spots are, I know 3 spots are on a exact opposite end of the lake. Got a little bit of drive time today, which stinks, but I didn't want to leave these fish here either. I knew they were here and they would help. But I gave myself till 8:30 and here it is, 9 o'clock.
I'm going to try to pronounce this name correctly. Genevieve LeClaire Evans said, "Good luck today, guys. Go Michigan."
That's cool.
Mr. Robert Brown tied in. I believe he's up there fishing with Greg right now. Good morning, Jordan Westerman.
Hey, can I also make a comment about, the fishing time that we have? KBF decided to have lines out by 1:30, and I tell you, man, I want to keep fishing. You know what I mean?
That's right.
I love our time frame. 10 hours is a lot, but it's not a lot. You know what I mean?
It goes by, but it is nice, especially when I know, like, I got to load the truck up and head to the other side of the lake. So, I mean, if I had a shorter time frame, I might not be able to do that.
Yeah.
That KBF tournament's usually over right about the time I'm awake.
Right?
It starts at like 4 o'clock in the morning, so by the time the sun comes up, you're already halfway in. It just amazes me watching you guys throughout this whole thing, because I'm not a real, I fish big water occasionally, but I much rather prefer small water. And both you guys right now, Greg's over here talking about tidal flows affecting the fish, and it looks like I'm assuming Jeremy's either throwing a tube or a drop shot based off of how he's rigging right now.
Yep.
And that's just two elements that are so far outside of my fishing game, especially every time Greg's brought me on air. You can just tell that's, I've got that more southern Florida, Texas approach to things. So this is, watching you two guys is just completely out of my element.
Well, and to be fair and honest, man, we're talking about of the best fishery you ever could have when it comes to the bass. I mean, the Potomac River's, when it's on, man, it's just second to none. And then, of course, St. Clair was amazing.
Good morning, Mr. John Fox has joined us. Good morning, Bobby Morin. Conrad says Baker's usually got 95 plus by now.
I would be feeling better if I did.
Just wait, there's more.
Jeremy, we're going to broadcast probably for the next 4 hours, and then the last couple hours of the day, I believe that'll give you three hours left. I'm just going to let you guys do your own thing. and not have to worry about a camera. If you get to a point where you think the camera's affecting your fishing, all you have to do is let me know. We'll hop off for you.
Probably let you guys go here in a second just to save on that battery. I got the battery pack.
Yeah, no, that's fine. When you need to go, you just let us know, and we'll let you go. When you do have to go, we might bring on some of our other KBBT anglers that are fishing other events today. But right now, we're focused on you, buddy, because you're the championship contender. Today is either win it all or go home a loser. It's up to you. Well, I guess second place really isn't a loser. You're just the first loser. I should have all the trophies in next week, and we will start shipping them out the day after I get them in. So.
Alright guys, I'll probably let you go. I'm gonna reposition on this fish real quick.
Okay.
I'll check back in a little bit. Hopefully
Yeah.
I got
I'll leave the call open whenever you're ready. Just go to your Skype and go to the call and just hit join call and you'll come back on.
very good. Alright guys, I'll talk to you in a bit.
Later,
That's
buddy.
good, man.
You know what, Greg? He looks a little worried today.
Yeah, I can see it.
He looks a little worried, and I have yet to see that from Jeremy.
You know, we saw that with Jonathan Pepin in the Final Four.
We've seen it with Matt Frentress.
Yeah.
And it looks like Jeremy's rattled. I tell you what, I'm going to go ahead and bring up one of your competitors and see if I can get them online. I'm going to see if we can't get Mr. Robert Brown on the phone.
Hey, we had a good time last night, man.
And if he don't answer, I'll bring up Derek because we'll know he'll answer.
Did y'all see the news?
I did, and that was great.
Yeah, it was.
Don Fox says he's at Tanner Rock fishing with us on the phone. That's so cool that you guys are out there fishing your own bodies of water, and while you're fishing, you're watching the KBBT live event. That's the stuff that allows us to keep doing what we're doing. You know, we might only have 9, normally on a long broadcast, we've been on for close to an hour, maybe not quite an hour, 30 minutes. Usually by now, our viewers have started to drop, but this morning they've been holding steady in double digits. Good morning, Mr. Paul James Roberts. All right, so Robert's unavailable. Let's see if we can give old Mr. Derek a call, and then I'm going to check do we have KBBT fishermen in the Hobie event today?
I know Corey Dreyer is, let's see. Christine Fisher, Catherine Field.
Hello.
Good morning, Mr. Derek.
How are you?
I'm good, buddy. How are you doing?
I'm hanging in there.
Good deal. Good deal. I figured the guys in the championship right now are fishing. We just got off with Jeremy Baker. He's repositioning. I figured we'd bring the news professional himself online with Mr. Greg.
Oh boy, here we go.
Hey, Derek, stop catching my fish, man.
Hey man, you shouldn't have told me where to go.
Did you go where I told you to?
Yeah.
You stayed at the same area?
Yeah. They got I I got surprised. They came up schooling, and I caught a bunch real quick, and now it's dead. But
Yeah, yeah. That's how it works, man. Comes in through, dude.
how are you?
Derek, the snake that I had on this morning
How big was it?
was a giant, and then he shook off in the kayak.
Really?
Yeah. I was like,
Derek Brundle is currently in third place in the KBF event with 81.5 inches. And Mr. Conant is starting to rise through the rankings now. He has now moved up into the top 10.
Perfect.
yeah, that North River bite, man, it's picking up.
Robert Brown has put some fish on the board. He's now sitting at 16th. Greg Oakes is in 18th with a stud. Lewis is in 20th. We have a ton of KBBT anglers in the top 20 right now.
All right.
Pretty dirty, or is it pretty clean?
What's that?
How's your water up there? Is it pretty dirty or clean?
Yeah, it's pretty dirty. Be about 6 inches or so.
Well, I'll tell you guys what. Right now, the Potomac River is putting the Hobie anglers to shame on Kentucky Lake.
Well, yeah, I tell you, man.
Kentucky Lake today?
Hobie's fishing Kentucky Lake today. Ron Champion is currently in the lead.
Kentucky Lake, I heard, was a struggle pre-fishing.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, I heard it was absolutely terrible. Christine Fisher's on the board. She's in 13th. Ron Champion's in first. Derek's going to catch the first fish of the day for us.
Yeah, here we go. I mean, it's like magic.
Mark, appreciate you, buddy.
Get him off the air.
Nice one, Derek. That's going to call.
I hope so. I need something bigger than 15 quarter.
Oh, wow. Catherine Field and Siddiqui are both on the board in that event as well.
I got a motor and check out Mr. Brundle. We just
I hear somebody else on there. Is somebody else on the call, or is that?
I got Mr. Chad Hoover here with me.
Oh, okay.
I'm just gonna call, so I'm gonna take care of that.
How big is it?
It's 15 3/4.
Let me actually pull up.
Yeah, come right on up.
Get up close.
I want to say hi to Mr. Marcus Coates and
What's up, Marcus?
How you doing, Chad?
Pretty good, man. Yeah, this process.
in good shape.
Yep.
Derek, there's a lot of people commenting on here. They seen you on the news yesterday.
Yeah, there's a lot of people commenting.
Okay, hold on a second. I want to do a little. It's I want to pull forward.
Yep.
I don't want you to.
Oh, man, I got you. Oh, yeah.
She was in the news for something good.
I was on the news for something good. I mean, I'm trying to spread some positive love here. You know what I'm saying?
Right, so
Yeah, man.
Every time we get Derek on the phone, regardless of what body of water he's in, he brings on a fish. check on these KBBT boys real quick.
All right, I'm back.
Right on, right on.
Did that call for you?
Yeah, it was a cold
call.
for him. Derek, I'll tell you, our KBBT championship contenders are struggling this morning.
Yeah, is it slow for him?
We got Jeremy Baker with a 19.5, and Doug Wilson's got 3 fish at 51.25, I think.
Yeah.
I can tell on the East Coast, man. You know, a little cold front came through.
You see him smash that thing?
Yeah, I saw it.
Dude, that was crazy. He came back 3 times for it.
What'd you catch that fish on, Derek? If you don't mind me asking, you don't have to tell.
Water flopper. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Start throwing it in that.
I caught it on a popper, Marcus.
I see him chasing it.
Nice.
You wouldn't think so. I mean, it's bright and sunny. But he came at it 3 times.
That's awesome. Derek, you on that grass? Are you on a grass flat or are you fishing structure?
Yeah, I'm just out on grass.
Yeah.
In the middle of nowhere.
Yep.
Ready? That popped me up to 82 inches, so we're gaining.
That's awesome.
Hey, man.
Yeah, considering last night I figured I'd only be able to put about 70, 75 in here.
Well, that just bumps you up further to the most fish on camera for KBBT.
I got lucky and caught 2 while Chad was with it. I couldn't do it on TV.
Greg's decided he's going to make a run 30 miles the other way and go fish for stripers.
Man, you see, I saw there was a school of stripers out on this flat this morning. They were just blowing up.
Oh, I was just pulling that out of my hat. So there are stripers over there.
Oh, yeah.
They were big, too, man. I see some big tails.
So
they were a couple 100 yards from me, and it was like whitewater.
When you guys are in a tournament of that caliber and you see that going on, do you still try to catch the striper?
I don't, but
because I'm telling you,
I would have went over there in a minute.
If I was with you guys right there, I would have been all over that striper fishing. Derek, if we need to let you go, man, you just let us know.
No, I'm good. I'm just, like I said, I'm just casting on this flat. Wait. Wow. I just had something huge roll right by the back of the new canoe.
Yeah, guys, we couldn't get the KBBT Championship guys on for very long this morning as planned. However, Derek Brundle is making sure that we have a show this morning. Good morning, Robert Richardson. you guys can see that wind is starting to pick up on the Potomac.
How's the weather conditions out there?
I can check real quick. It's in the low 70s here. Actually, we've got pretty similar conditions as you guys where you're at. You guys actually have a little bit of rain percentage moving in, starting here in about 45 minutes. So you guys might actually see some overcast come in.
Oh, that might turn it on.
You should start seeing clouds here about 10 o'clock, and it's just going to progressively get more and more throughout the day. Eric, your life jacket looks incredibly comfortable.
Incredibly what?
Comfortable.
Hey, comfortable.
Yeah, comfortable.
Oh man, this Mustang Survival GFD is incredible, dude. You don't even know you have it on. I really like it in the summer. I like the NRS in the winter, but I like this in the summer because it's nice and cool. Really? That's nice. I did, yeah. I replied to you.
Hey, Greg, I'm catching a lot of interference from the waves as you're paddling. I'm going to mute you until you get there, if that's okay, buddy.
I'm already here, dude.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Right on.
Alright, because you said a couple of people got some big ones?
They do, and both the KBBT anglers have some good fish. Have one good fish each. Here in your tournament, you've got it seems like a lot of the fish are around the same size. I haven't seen any 20s busted just yet. You, sir, are 2 inches out of a 3-way tie for first place.
What's first? Have 84?
There's a tie between John Mayhews and who is this person? Mike Hosky.
Oh, Hosky's on them, huh?
There's a tie with 84 inches in first place right now.
Up there at that, parked at the top of the hill where those kayaks are, and this guy comes out and he's like, "Hey, you can't be parked here. You can't launch kayak here." I said, "Okay."
It doesn't look like there's any updates on the KBBT board at the moment. I could keep pulling the standings up if I could learn how to spell Potomac.
Right.
If Hosky's on the board, that means the jig bite's working. That's all he throws.
Yeah. It'll still be a secret.
learn how to pronounce this Scott guy's name that's watching today. His last name is spelled SZCZECHOWICZ.
No.
I'm not gonna. I can't try that. I'm sorry, Scott.
Championship, but they can't get a hold of the two guys. Yeah. Are they both fishing the same body? No, one's in Florida, one's in Michigan, right?
One's in Florida, one's on Michigan. It's basically St. Clair versus the Fellsmere area. So smallmouth versus largemouth.
I think it was a bass.
Get it?
You're still on jumping. You're still on schooling fish out there.
I don't know. That one could have been a bass. It was tough. It didn't quite look carfish, but yeah, that was. Oh, blew up on it.
Those exotic rods do no shame.
What's that, buddy?
I said those exotic rods do no shame.
Oh yeah, this is this is actually my drop shot rod, but I tied a small little pop bar on it just for now. It's working. I just caught one fish.
You know, it's crazy after the absolute showdown that St. Clair had last week that Jeremy Baker's only got one fish on the board.
Yeah, I know, man. I figured, well, I knew that fight was going to be coming to an end fairly soon, or at least to the intensity that it was, you know.
You would think after seeing, what was it, like 20 guys in the 90s, that it would at least produce one more 90-inch bag.
Well, from what I've heard, I mean, I've never fished there, but I've talked to a bunch of people, and from what I heard, it could be like a light switch, man. Game over after whatever time they decide. They just stop biting.
I wish I would have got that insight ahead of time. We've got a couple more guys culling throughout y'all's event, so the fish are still biting.
Yeah, it should start picking up really good here, man. I'm telling you.
Yeah, I think we just need some tide, you know?
It's coming. It should be here.
Greg Oakes has the biggest fish of the day.
How big?
19 and a half. The reason that Hosky jumped up there is because he caught a 19 and a quarter.
That one come off? I'll try on a spook.
There you go. That's my top water bait. I tell you what, guys, I'm going to let y'all get back to fishing. I'm going to try to bring on a couple other of our guys that are fishing throughout the events, and we'll check in with you guys later on. But best of luck to both of you.
Hey, man.
Good to hear from you.
Yes, sir.
Good luck, Greg.
You too, man. Take care.
Later, guys.
Later.
All right. Well, we just wanted to show our guys some love there that we're fishing. Like I said, we're not able to get Jeremy Baker or Doug Wilson on the phone right now. But we'll let them keep doing their thing, and we'll check in with a couple other guys and just kind of get their idea. What we'll go ahead and do right now, since we're waiting on fish to come through, we'll go ahead and talk to. We'll go ahead and see if we can get a couple of the teams bracket guys on, just to feel free to talk about the teams tournament there. So I do want to make one mention about the teams tournament. It is the best 5 fish from each team member. So both of you have to put up a 5 fish limit or whatever fish you have. It's not 10 total fish, the biggest between the two. One of you catches 9, one of you catches 1. It's 5 fish each angler. So just make sure you watch out for that. Go ahead and get in here just real quick. See if we can't bring on a couple other guys. Maybe we'll try Eric. He's out there fishing the Hobie event. We'll see if he wants to come on live for a little bit. Maybe he can give us some insight on St. Clair. He might not have service either. Doesn't look like he does. Let's try to get some insight on Doug Wilson's area. I know just okay. I get it. We'll try John Fox. He's down there fishing right now. Told us earlier he might not have Skype open. Doesn't look like he has Skype open either this morning. Well, we were going to try to do a broadcast all day of these guys out here fishing, but we can't get either one of them on the phone. I'll try Mr. Hollum again. We'll see if he might have service at this point. He's supposed to be videoing for us for Doug Wilson. He don't have service either. Nope. All right, let's see what we can do here. See if we can get on Mr. William Brewer. Maybe he has Skype on. Maybe he doesn't. Oh, and then it started kicking in as soon as it started ringing. Let me try calling. Good morning, Mr. Brewer. How are you doing today, sir? You hear me? Uh-oh, did I lose you? Well, that didn't last.
How about now?
Oh, there we go. Now I got you.
Hold on, let me get you set up here.
Well, we just watched Derek Brundle cull his way into third place and move up on the top, guys. Greg's got one fish. How's your day going so far?
I got 2 bites and no fish to show for it. I had one on a chatterbait earlier this morning, and damn thing jumped off of the boat. I keep losing them at the boat for some reason.
Well, I don't know where Derek's at, but he's just on an abundance of jumping fish. He had stripers busting all over the place this morning. He's getting one blow up after another on top water. He caught a fish on camera again. That dude is just phenomenal everywhere he goes.
Yeah, he's a tough angler to beat, man.
Greg's throwing a swim bait in grassy water. Are those pads behind you?
Yeah, man. You see, I'm not even fishing them.
I can see. I'm surprised. That actually shocks me. I'm gonna bring Todd Patrick on here with us. We can't get a hold of our KBBT championship guys today, but they look like they might be in the struggle bus this morning.
Yeah, man. It's been weird. The one bite I got this morning was all shallow grass, which actually wasn't grass. It was the muddy portion, kind of the edge line. Most of that lily pads, man, it's gonna be full of snakeheads.
Oh, is that what it is?
Yeah, at least that's what I've found. You'll hear them over there. One of my buddies, he just caught one on get these dumps down, the sun's up a little bit. Slow rolling the spinnerbait by all these pylons. How's the championship round going?
Man, you got one guy with a 19.5-inch fish and another guy that's got a 22.25, but he's only got 2 14 3/4 to go with it. So it's definitely, they're definitely feeling it. And like I said, I thought that was kind of going to get hit. I think the pressure was gonna get to him eventually, and it looks like that north wind that everywhere is getting hit with across the United States may be slowing Florida down.
I got you.
And it looks like the St. Clair bite has just dissipated.
It's there. He's got to find them.
He's got to find it, huh?
It seems to be the story of everybody.
What's the total inches between each?
For KBBT?
Yep.
Doug Wilson's at 51 3/4, and Jeremy Baker's at 19.5.
Oh, damn. Definitely not what you expect on championship day. But, Doug's been picking it up toward the end of the day, though, too, on some of his tournaments, Yeah,
they've both Doug gets that early bite, then he dies for the longest time, and then it comes back right at the end for him. And then Jeremy usually stays pretty steady throughout the day, so it's making me think that he's got very minimal fish on beds, and now he's out. He's probably either made a move or getting ready to make a move to a secondary spot. And that was his plan yesterday. He wanted to go to, I talked to him yesterday, and he said he wanted to go pick off a 19.5 and hopefully maybe like another 18 or 19 off of one area. And then after he did that, he wanted to move out and go to different areas that he's not really fished as much during the tournament. So I mean, his bite slowed off pretty much, but as much as we do, a 10-hour fishing day is a long day, man.
Anything can happen. 10 hours, man. I'm just at that last 2 hour mark whenever everything starts to really kick off. You figure out something.
Yeah, we plan to have them on throughout the majority of this morning, for a couple hours, about 4 or 5 hours, but we weren't able to get them on. I've tried Doug Wilson multiple times, and Jeremy Baker said he's moving areas. So, maybe we'll get to bring them on later in the day. But this morning has it's been rough for video coverage, so we've just been covering our fellow anglers that are in the other bodies of waters.
Yeah, man. Well, I tell you what, I am extremely excited about is next weekend for that team tournaments. I'm pumped, man. I won't be fishing all this muddy water crap, which I'm not a very good muddy water angler. And I got my spots picked out and looking to lay the hammer down.
Man, I've had a lot of people. I've had a lot of people messaging me about the teams tournament. It seems like a lot of people are ready for it. It's a lot of people were a little bit confused. They were asking me, so is it like, can one angler catch 9 and the other one catch 1? But that's not how this one rolls. It's 5 each angler, which means it's a 50% from each teammate.
Yeah, you gotta contribute as a team. It's teamwork, Stuff happens. Hopefully, both team members can get those 10 fish together and concentrating hard, trying not to wrap it around these pylons.
No, you're good, buddy.
Yeah, it's going to take both anglers being on the top of their game for every single weekend. Good thing about the team tournaments, though, is you get both days to fish. You can fish both. So that might help out some anglers. Maybe they figure out something on day 1 and they can lead off with it on day 2, So I think that's going to help out.
We've got a lot of underdogs in this team's tournament. I mean, we got a lot of guys that this really could be their first explosive tournament and really get a name out for themselves. I think that's what a lot of people don't realize is the amount of coverage that KBBT does give. When you perform, your name gets expanded throughout the nation. And man, it's I've got to say I'm rooting on these underdogs.
I always root for the underdogs, man. Some guys are expected to get big fish all the time. It's the guys that aren't expecting to get 5 20-inch fish every single time they go out. Some places you just expect it. So whenever the underdogs do pull out the stops like that, man, it's amazing.
Man, we got one team in the event, and I'll talk about it. It's Team WUSA, Team Windows USA. Nick Meese has never fished a kayak tournament before, and Kyle Burns didn't catch a single fish in the first event, on the first bracket that he was in. But that's one of those things that they're coming in and they're going to give it everything they've got.
Well, they don't have anything to lose, so you might as well swing for the fences,
Absolutely.
It could have just been a bad day for the one angler, just because he didn't get any fish that day. Conditions change every week to week. So,
Kyle's actually watching right now. He said, "Way to rub it in," but I didn't mean to say it like that, Kyle. We're just talking, guys like you out there. You've got nothing to lose. You're the true underdog that people might seem to go, oh, I'm not worried about him, and then catch you guys by complete surprise. And that's the kind of thing that we root on. I mean, That's like Jonathan Pepin. Nobody knew Jonathan Pepin. Nobody was worried about Jonathan Pepin. Everybody was like, "Oh, he's going against Siddiqui." Well, the dude had a first good week one, and then the dude beats Siddiqui and makes a run to the Final Four. Nobody knew. Nobody knew a lot of these guys that have made it real far. I'll be honest with you. I didn't know who Jeremy Baker was. I do now.
I think everybody knows who Jeremy Baker is now.
Everybody knows who's Jeremy. I didn't know who Conrad Benetti was. I do now.
Well, that's the good thing about KBBT is, we get to highlight all these anglers, man. That, like you said, like we talked about before, they don't have thousands of dollars to go travel 3-4 states over, stay in a hotel for a week, pre-fishing, stuff like that, man. Or just either they have the money, they just don't have the time for work and stuff like that. Being able to feature a lot of these anglers is definitely a huge deal, and it's definitely the one, not the one, but one of the many good things about KBBT, man. Highlighting everybody. You do well, you'll get noticed.
Absolutely, and that's just something we really try to concentrate on, and it's actually worked really good. And we're bumping it up. I'm enjoying the heck out of it. So is everybody else. And it's one of those things. All you gotta do is catch fish. You catch fish, we bring you on camera. It's that simple. Whether it's 1 or 20, if you're catching fish, we're gonna bring you on.
Absolutely, man. And you guys probably don't hear it enough, but we definitely appreciate you guys, man. Taking the time your entire weekend to give all of us a call, man. Going to 132 anglers sometimes, 62 anglers, 32, breaking it all down. You guys do that day in and day out, and we definitely appreciate it, man. Whether anybody ever tells you or not, I'm going to tell you right now, both of you, I appreciate it.
Heck yeah, man.
We couldn't do it. Oh, Robert Richardson says, "Will catch one for me. He's working." Good morning, Mr. Bobby Morin.
Good morning.
We got Bobby Morin, Todd Patrick, and Will Brewer on here with us. Bobby, tell us what's going on in Florida.
I don't know. I went out Tuesday, and I put up 102 and a half inch, and had a 14 and a half inch fish to still call out. So I should be up around 110. Lakes changed a lot since they started spraying it, and I got lucky. I found where they went to.
Well, you see this stuff that Mr. Brewer's up here fishing. He's around just stacks of pads and pylons.
So I see where he's at. I'm still throwing my same jackhammer chatterbait, that bruised pumpkin, and they're still hitting it. I was on them quick the other day. I guess I got out there a safe light. By the time I got across the other side of the lake, I guess probably about 7:30, 8 o'clock, I started out with that 14 and a half, and then they just grew from there.
Do you think that north wind has are you guys getting a little cooler breeze there this morning?
Oh no, right now where we're at, we're down by the intercoastal. We're doing some wind therapy this morning. We're doing a poker run for one of the ladies locally that needed some help. So there is absolutely zero breeze right now.
Oh, okay. So it's not cooler there. It's still in the 90s like it's been.
It's hot.
It is definitely hot. If there's a breeze, it may be 1 mile an hour. So humidity, I think, is up around 76%. So it's even miserable riding on the bike right now.
Oh, it's Florida then.
Yeah,
that's what's that.
Florida.
We got a leaderboard update. Doug Wilson has put up another fish on the board. He's now sitting at 67 3/4. His fish was 16 inches.
He's having that dink fest like he was nervous about.
But right now, on a day like today, with the St. Clair bite the way it is, a dink fest could easily take it.
Yeah, our wind, I think, is coming straight out of the east right now. What little bit we do have.
And that right there could be affecting it because that east is coming right off the well, I don't know. Well, yeah, you guys being in southeast Florida, that east wind coming off the ocean there could be a game changer for those Florida strain.
Yeah, usually when you get the east wind, if you fish on the southwest side of the lake, you get just enough ripple on the water. You can get that bite over in that corner where I normally fish at.
Right on, right on. Well, Bobby,
So,
give us a big old welcome for the whole KBBT nation of your favorite college football team.
oh no, roll tide, baby.
Hey, he knows what's up.
Yeah,
He knows what's up.
that's right. Roll tide, win, lose, or draw. It's still my team.
Sounds like a Cowboys speech.
Yeah, I
Take
got my
a break from championships, opportunities.
but
That's all it is, man.
I'm about like Brewer. I'm looking forward to that tournament, team tournament starting next. Was it next weekend?
It starts next weekend, Bobby.
Yeah, looking forward to it.
With the way you've been fishing, you are dangerous.
Yeah, but sometimes it seems like when it counts is when the bite goes away.
Hey, look, that's what I'm hoping for when it comes to Doug next weekend. And because I got to go against Doug and Holland next weekend. Me and Doc Acosta going one-on-one with the Tannerock twins.
Oh yeah, and if that bites on, y'all are in trouble.
Yeah,
If
you're right.
Tannerock is hit or miss. You can go out there and catch 110 inches one day and not even catch a fish the next day. So, Kenansville seems like I always catch fish. It seems like on a bad day, I'm in that 85 to 87 inch range. On a good day, I can get up there in that 110 inch range. And if I wouldn't have had to leave out of there at 1 o'clock the other day, I only got like 4.5, 5 hours of fishing in. If I wouldn't have had to leave out, I'd have probably called out that other one. I'd have probably been up in that 110 inch range.
Wow.
Earlier this week.
Will Brewer, ain't that been a problem? 110 inches.
Hey,
I can't get 110 inches in a month.
Big fish.
I don't even know if I've gotten 110 inches in my life.
You still catch them. The fish can be there, but they got to bite.
That's right. That's right. Well, Bobby, I appreciate you coming on, man. I'll let you get to it. It's always a pleasure talking to you, brother, and good luck next weekend.
All right, brother. We'll see y'all. Y'all have a great day.
Take it easy, man.
Hey, Pat Brewer.
Take it easy, buddy.
All right. Bye-bye.
I love that guy.
Hey,
Oh,
got a scoreboard update for the Potomac.
Okay, give it to us.
We got a local guy from Stafford, Virginia,
Hosky?
Mr. Mike Hosky with 84 inches is tied with John Mayhews at 84 inches for the lead. Hosky has the bigger fish. Derek Brundle's in third with 82 inches from Massachusetts. Mr. Bear Wenzel out of West Virginia just upgraded to take fourth place from Ken Wood with 79.5. And then, like I just said, Ken Wood out of Massachusetts has 78 inches. That's your top five.
In all honesty, my pick would be John Mayhews, man. Either him or Greg Oakes.
Greg Oakes has the biggest fish of the day right now with 19.5. But he's only got that one fish.
Yeah. And other anglers of note, Joseph Diadio out of New Hampshire at 63.75. Matthew Conant is in 11th with 56.25. Scrolling down here, Greg Oakes has one fish at 19.5 and 22nd place. Robert Brown is in 21st with 30.25. And other than that, it looks like it's a struggle here.
Greg
Noakesar has one fish at 15.5. And Will Brewer has 0. Catch him, Will.
Yeah, man. It's weird. You know, I live 20 minutes from this place. I just don't fish the Potomac that much. I don't really like tidal waters. There's a lot of other lakes that are a lot closer to me. I think bigger and easier to catch fish. So, and you're not getting beat up by boats and stuff like that all day long.
Well, don't let us kill your phone battery being out there.
Oh no! I mean, you got to be able to submit fish.
You got to catch fish to submit fish.
Have we done any Hobie BOS on Kentucky Lake yet? Updates.
I did one earlier. It's been a little bit. You can give one if you want to.
We got Mr. Ron Champion is actually in first place with a small limit of 74.5. Mr. Arlie Minton out of North Carolina in second place with 69.5. Mr. Tim Isaacs out of West Virginia in third with 68.75. Mr. Randy Collins out of Kentucky with 65.5 in fourth. Let's see here. I don't know this guy. CT Neal out of Ohio is going to be bringing up, I think, what was that, fifth place with 65.25. So that'd be your top five there. Anglers of note, let's see. Joe Camiotti, 10th with 54.5. Christine Fisher in 16th with 40.5. Mike Cheatham in 18th with 33.75. Let's see. Steve Owens, 26 with 27 inches. Eric Siddiqui, big fish of the day, has 21 inches. And he's in 29th place. Mr. Quentin Eccles out of Ohio has a 20.5-inch bass right behind him. Catherine Field has an 18.5 to start her day. And Jackson Orr is 34th with 16 inches. Ryan Lambert, 35th with 16 inches. So it looks like, it's a slow bite out there. I've heard during pre-fishing the whole week that it's been slow. They've been hard to find. They haven't been very predictable. The shallow bite was kind of consistent, but there, weren't a bunch of shallow fish. A bunch of people were looking for them out on ledges, and they were hard to find. So it's a grind out there.
Looks like a grind all over the place. Still no more updates on the KBBT leaderboard. We'll see if we can't bring on a couple people here to talk about the teams tournament while we're watching Mr. Brewer fish today.
Did you guys know that it is Derek Brundle's birthday today as well?
I did just notice that, and we're going to give him a call before we go off air just to give him a happy birthday. So we are going to do that. Facebook just gave me the notification. Of course, it couldn't do that while we had him on air, but...
Oh, you had him on air earlier?
Yeah, he caught a fish on air while I had him and Greg both on air. And he caught a fish, and Greg said we had to take him down.
That's funny.
He called yesterday when he was doing his news interview.
Oh yeah, we did talk about that too. He did. He had that great. He had that great interview on the news here. All right, Doc. We trying to get Doc Acosta on there, my teammate. He says good morning. He wishes he could come on. He is currently at the hospital with his family for his uncle's surgery. So, Doc, big prayers for your uncle for everything to go smooth from the KBBT family. So we'll pray for that. And before we get Derek on the phone, since we aren't going to do it here just right away, we are going to go ahead and say happy birthday, Derek. If you are watching, I'm sure you're not. You're out there grinding it out, but happy birthday to you, buddy.
Birthday. Hey, it was nice meeting him. I actually got to shake his hand last night, so that was pretty nice. Really stand-up guy, man.
Derek's a heck of a dude.
It's always to get to meet some new anglers and just shoot shit.
Absolutely. I mean, he's just a great person to talk to, a great person to be around. That is an absolute fact.
Yep. Him and Matt. I don't want to try to say his last name because I'll butcher it. I look like an a-hole.
Conant?
Conant, that's right, yeah. check the camera every time that y'all guys call me. To learn the tricks.
Am I breaking up bad or?
No, I
is it
think
Will?
I think Will's going in and out of service on the water.
Yeah, it's probably me. All right, well, I'll let you guys go. You guys get back at it. Appreciate everything you guys do.
All right, buddy. Good luck out there. Go catch a limit.
Yeah, be safe,
Yeah.
man.
All right, we'll do, man. Take it easy.
All right, Todd. What do you think about the teams bracket?
I think it's pretty cool. A lot of people are into the team thing. It gives a different element, of just the regular you versus the world or you versus another guy. And, a lot of people are cool about it. I'm not good enough to fish in a team event, so it's nothing that I'll be.
Should have gone with each other. You guys should have been a team.
Yeah, we could have been called one and done. Or can't catch one.
Hashtag no limits.
Yep, no limit soldiers. All kinds of stuff. But
We can't.
man, I'm.
Go ahead.
You can't what? I didn't hear what you said.
I was just saying we can't hate on Greg too much. He has caught the first fish in the last 2 KBF trail events.
How about that? But I know that he was on them in pre-fishing. He said he found grass and was able to find a bunch, and he felt pretty confident. But today, not on them right now. But we'll have to see how that goes. But what a slow start we got here in this championship. It's crazy.
It definitely is. It's rough. It is definitely rough. And not only that, not being able to bring him on air has been rough too. And that's probably because of how rough a day it is. Neither one of them want to come on air because they're not catching a lot of fish, or there's just not a lot of service. I'm not sure which one it is. It's 2 areas I've never really been to, so.
There's service. I think that they're just grinding hard right now. That neither one of them feel comfortable with what they have, and I think that they're like wanting to catch the tail end of that morning bite, which is winding down right now. Michigan had a couple of day cool front come through. I didn't think it was going to affect Jeremy's bite that bad. I think the thing that's affecting Jeremy's bite is the fish have moved off beds. And he was hoping they'd stay, but I think they're off. And I think that he probably, went around his main area where he felt comfortable for several hours, and he's decided that he has to make that move that he knew he was going to have to make today. And I would say that he's probably, I would assume that he's probably getting back on the water pretty quickly here. I would say he's either going out at day sail or down around 9 Mile. A little farther south, closer to the Detroit River, get a little more current where them smallmouth bass like to hang when they're not on beds. And I don't feel nervous for Jeremy yet, because I know that once he finds them, they are going to be stacked up. And once he submits a fish, I would expect him to put up a limit quick. But it's the grind of finding them after they've moved out. And then, I talked to Doug, and Doug said, man, I could get on a dink fest or I could get on a heavy bite. And he goes, I hope I'm on a heavy bite. Well, he got that one big fish early, and then he's on a dink fest for his last 3. So he's got to be feeling a little pressure too, because he's out there searching for the big ones. But he does have the comfort of having, 4 fish on the board. He's one 13-inch fish or 12 and a quarter-inch fish away from having an 80-inch limit, which is a small limit with a 22-inch kicker. But, I think they're both just pressing right now. They're probably feeling the heat. They've been out on the water for approximately 4 hours now, so they know that their day is coming up on halfway through, and I could say that the pressure is mounting quickly on both of these anglers.
It should be. It's one of those things. It's just being in the championship. You already have a ton of pressure on your shoulders. Being on a championship this late in the day, 10 o'clock Eastern time, and not having a 5-fish limit, that adds even more pressure to the equation.
Jeremy Baker has had a limit in this tournament before 10:30 every week, except for week 1 that he's fished. So for 5 rounds, he had a 5-fish limit by 10:30. He understands his bites change, and I told him this yesterday. I said, champions are made of being able to go out there and get your plan B and plan C and putting it together, keeping your head straight, and grinding and getting that 5-fish limit when the going's tough. So he knows that, and I'm sure he's out there grinding away, and hopefully his head's straight, and hopefully Doug Wilson's head straight. A little bit of pressure is lifted, and then to also have 3 other fish, that's huge.
Oh, absolutely. I'm going to try to bring on an angler to talk about the team's tournament here that hasn't gotten airtime with us just yet. Todd, I've got to search for his live CID number, so I'm going to hang up and call you just right back.
All right.
So just 2 seconds. I'll have you right back on air.
Sounds good.
All right. I've got to search for his CID number. It's not letting me do it on air. So we'll try to do it off air just real quick and see if we can get Mr. Kyle Burns on the camera with us to talk about this upcoming. And I'm not pulling it up. Let me make sure I've got it in here right. Not getting it on there. Well, let's get Todd back on the phone here. You there with me?
What's up?
Well, he sent me his live CID code, but it didn't come through on Skype. I told him just to go ahead and give me a call, and we'll see if he'll come through. But we're going to see if we can bring a returning angler that's still an up-and-comer in the kayak world that didn't get to have airtime with us during the 128 bracket. But we'll see if we can get him on to talk a little bit about how he feels fishing the team bracket and how he feels going up against a team from Colorado. We haven't had any Colorado anglers yet.
Not that I'm aware of.
We haven't had a single one just yet. And, all right, I think he added me on there, so I think I've got him now. Let's try it one more time here. Got him. No, I don't have him. That's not him either. I'll tell you what, Skype is difficult sometimes.
It's amazing.
It's rough. It says I have him in my contacts, but I can't find him.
Man, I wonder if is 84 inches going to win it
on Potomac.
Yeah,
I don't think so. I don't think it'll win it.
A bunch of guys are starting to group up in the 70-inch range, but wow. It looks like it's a dink fest, other than a couple of big ones here and there.
Yeah, I'm not. I don't know. I don't think it'll take it though.
What do you think it's going to take on Kentucky Lake?
Man, I'm actually surprised they've got the numbers they do on Kentucky Lake right now. I was expecting a much lower number than they've already got. Well, I don't know. You said it was only leading with 70 something.
Yeah, Ron Champion has 74.5, and that's with a catch board, not a hog trough. So let's see.
I just caught on to that. Good one.
I didn't say anything. I stated facts, nothing but facts.
That's just true.
He has a 19.5-inch kicker. It's a nice fish there. Like I said, a lot of guys out there, and actually that's a 19. Did I say he's at a 19.5? He's got 19.25. Yeah, that's right. So, I know that the fishing was rough, man. I talked to some guys out there that know it. I mean, you would assume that Josh Stewart would be on him, and either he doesn't have phone service and he's caught him. If not, he doesn't even have a fish on the board.
Craig Knight says, "Oh no, you didn't," regarding the hog trough comment, and Conrad says, "Morning bite has been tough in Florida. Afternoon bite's been better for bigger fish." And also, good morning, Mama, because Mama's on the live event. All right, 1 second here. I think we have Kyle calling in. It says we missed the call. Nope, there it is.
Somebody's here.
There we go.
Hey, what's going on, man?
What's happening, Kyle?
Oh, sitting here wishing I was on the water. Instead, I'm getting my car fixed.
We're wishing we were on the water too.
Repping that 6-gill shirt, I see.
Oh yeah.
Jonathan Pepin would be proud. So, how are you feeling about the upcoming teams event next weekend?
And I'm ready for some redemption. Like you're saying, I didn't catch anything the last bracket, so I'm ready to put some on the board.
Kyle's actually going to be fishing with me on my body of water next weekend, so
give it a try.
We're splitting the lake in half that I picked out, and him and his partner are going to be out there with me next weekend.
Sure.
Paul, what do you think about
hopefully put
Arkansas
on some
versus
fish.
Colorado?
Never fished it, so hopefully you put me on some fish.
What do I think about what?
Arkansas against Colorado.
I honestly, it would be ignorant of me to talk anything Colorado fishing because I have no idea what it's like there. I do know that they got a decent little club there in Colorado that does pretty well. But for me to talk on Colorado fishing, I only know of one Colorado angler, and he goes and fishes Missouri, Moyak a lot, and he's really good. I can't think of his name off the top of my head.
Is it largemouth or smallmouth in Colorado?
I would assume that you're probably going to be largemouth out there. I'm not. I mean, I could see where you could think smallies with the rivers and things like that. I don't know. See, like I said, it'd be ignorant for me to elaborate.
Kyle, what do you think you're going to need to as a team total to take the win on week one?
Team total. I'd say probably 150, 160. I'm from Colorado. I'm like him. I never even fished in Colorado. So
I didn't even know Colorado had bass.
I'm going to give you guys the angler's name out of Colorado. That's pretty good. It's really bothering me.
I'm going to take a stab at. I'm going to agree with Kyle. I think it'll take 150, 160 to win any of these events. The problem being, though, if you have one angler on your team that doesn't have a 5-fish limit, that seriously hurts you.
Have good days.
You both got to have at least a decent day. That's a minimum of 120 inches is the minimum you can post up. And I think if you don't have at least that every week, you're going home.
Oh, yeah. Both anglers are going to need 5-fish limits, I would say, especially with 2 days of fishing. You know, you got to average 2.5 fish a day. That you have to be able to do that.
I think to beat Conrad on week 1, you're going to have to break 200.
Yeah, I feel for you, Mark, fishing against both Florida guys.
Doug Wilson and John Holland. Man, the thing about it is, though, you know, like we've preached about, they're either going to have amazing days and they're going to break 190, 200, or, you know, they're going to have not so great days like Doug's having at the moment. The problem with where Doug's fishing, it's all weather oriented, so it's either really, really on or really, really not. And that seems to be the story with Florida throughout this entire competition, not just Doug Wilson, but with the exception of Conrad Benetti, you know, every Florida angler is either on or off. I just got to pray for an off day. 2 off days in a row, back-to-back off days.
Is that who you're going against? Is Conrad's team for week 1?
No, I'm going against Doug Wilson and John Holland.
Oh, that's right. The
Tanner Rock twins. It's gonna be fun. I get to drive to Nashville tomorrow morning. I'm going bow fishing tonight, waking up early, driving to Nashville. Then next weekend I'm fishing 2 solid days on the water. Now if we had weather like we got today, boy, it'll be fire. It's still in the 70s, I think.
I'm out here in Texas, pretty close to where we're going to be going next weekend, and it's hot. It's already hot.
Never mind. Never mind.
I'm sitting here in the shade breaking a sweat.
You're at a car shop?
Yeah.
What happened? Oh, that's right. You had to get your old lady's vehicle worked on.
Yep. I got tasked to make the drive to get it worked on.
Hey, the glory of being guys, right?
Right.
Oh, Conrad says his partner needs to go pre-fish.
I need pre-fish.
His partner, and they all look like they're saltwater. They don't look like a whole lot of freshwater fish. Conrad's throwing up bass pictures left and right. His partner's throwing up king mackerel. But no, man, it's just been we've just gotten people on and talked today. It's been a rough on the KBBT championship. It's completely opposite of the championship we had last month. But Doug Wilson just caught another fish. 18.25 inches. Doug Wilson has got a 5-fish limit with 86 inches and still has the majority of the day left to fish. He's slowly calling them up. Jeremy Baker's still at 19.5. What do you think takes the championship today, Kyle?
Man, I don't even want to guess.
You going with Michigan or Florida?
I'd say Michigan. They've been doing pretty well in brackets.
He's still saying we still got Michigan picks coming through, even with Jeremy Baker at 19.5. Jeremy Baker getting plenty of love. Now he's just got to get some slime on the board.
He got a lot of time.
Oh, yeah. I mean, it's 10:15 there. We're going till 4.
5 hours and 45 minutes.
There you go. There's the mathematicians. Don't get me to line. But, Kyle, how are you feeling about your partner? Nick Meese really hasn't made a scene on the kayak community yet. Are you confident, or are you shaking up a little bit about that?
Man, I know he can fish. He's never fished from the kayak, but I know he can fish. Thank you.
Right on.
Yeah, I know he can fish, but I'd see how he does out of the kayak. So I know he's done it. He's never done a tournament. I know he's fished from a kayak, so I think we'll be all right. I think we'll be good.
Well, you know, if you win it, you've got a really good chance. I'm going to go ahead and say, out of my opinion, you got a good shot at going against the A-team, Derek Brundle and Matthew Conant, just the absolute all-stars out of Massachusetts. If you make it to them, do you think it's going to be a pressure situation with a rough mindset, or are you just going to have to go in there and bust it all out? How are you feeling about that?
Well, like I said, after posting 0 fish the last bracket, if I win the first round, I think I feel myself redeemed, and I wouldn't be pressured.
Right on. Well, dude, I gotta say, you know, that's almost like Pepin going in and going against Siddiqui. You, as both of you guys as up and comers, taking on Derek Brundle and Matthew Conan. If you can pull out a victory there, you know, that's a career in the making.
Yeah. Well, I'm looking forward to it. But hey, I got to run. They're calling me over there.
Right
I appreciate
on.
you, Mark.
Yep. Have a safe trip back home.
All right, appreciate it.
Good talking to you, brother.
Nice talking to you.
He doesn't look phased at all. He didn't catch a single fish last bracket, and he looks like he is coming for the hunt.
He said he was ready to rip some lips.
He said
playing games.
He said he was ready. He is a Army veteran that now works at Windows USA in Royal, Arkansas, and he is coming for the trophy. He said he's ready. Woosa. Team Woosa. Coming out.
Boom!
Boom! He's chasing the boom bugs. I keep updating this. Waiting. The suspense is killing me. I'm waiting on Jeremy Baker to upload a fish. He might still be switching water. I'm not sure. I told him to holler at me when he could. He wanted to come back on air. You know, I'm not going to force the guys to come on camera, but
wouldn't that be funny if he was holding like 3 19.5s?
Funny, no, because I want to see him, but you know, it is what it is. He did say he wanted to catch a 19.5, 19 3/4 first thing, and he did.
Do you guys? I don't know if you remember what I said last night. I said the exact thing that happened, but it didn't happen live. I said, which one of these guys is going to be able to withstand? I said, is Doug Baker going to be able to withstand when Jeremy Baker throws up a 19.5? And I said, is Jeremy Baker going to be able to withstand when Doug Wilson throws up a 22.25? And what did they throw up? Both of them. That's hilarious.
You nailed it on that one. I'll give it to you. I'll tell you what. You know, the thing that got me, we've had Jeremy Baker on camera a lot. This is the first time he's came on camera and looked rattled. And he did look rattled. He looked shaken. He looked nervous. It's not the normal.
You talked to him already?
We did talk to. We brought Jeremy Baker on for a little bit, but then he said he had to go, so we let him off. Okay. He was working on a bedded fish in murky water, but he couldn't get it to bite.
Yep.
He looked rattled.
Yep. He sounded like it yesterday on the phone. I said it, and after I talked to both guys, I talked to Jeremy probably 45 minutes, probably talked to Doug for an hour and 15 minutes, something like that, and there was 2 different demeanors there. So,
you know, confidence is dangerous, and Doug Wilson definitely had confidence when we talked to him. We didn't get him on camera this morning, but last time we talked to him, he had confidence. He had confidence when you talked to him. He said he was going to show us something and teach us broadcasters a lesson, and he's slowly adding fish to the pot throughout the day. But, you know, confidence is dangerous.
Is John Hallam available? Because I know he's supposed to be following. Have you tried
I tried him. I'll try him again here now. We'll see if we can get him on.
Yep, no changes in the
Jeff or John
KBF.
Where is Mr. Halem at? I know. John Halem, okay. And now I'm not. Oh, there we go. Let me get rid of that.
Jay Wallen has jumped up with a 70-inch limit, and he is 4.5 inches behind Ron Champion.
No, I'm not pulling up. Now I'm not pulling up John, but we will try Doug again. Like I said, I'm not sure what the whole situation is with Jeremy. He said he had to go. He said he would let me know when he was ready, and you know, we'll go from there. He hasn't let me know, but You know, that camera can be dangerous.
I'd say at 10:30 you can try them again. This segment's brought to you by Wendy's. Get your Wendy's today.
God.
Dude, you can't beat a Frosty Chino. I used to get the iced coffee from McDonald's, and that's pretty good. But Wendy's Frosty Chino, bang, bang, bro. Bang, bang.
I'll go ahead and try Jeremy. But again, I really don't want to. I don't want to force him on the camera. We'll go ahead and give him a try here and see if we can get him on air.
How long ago did you talk to him?
I don't know. We've been on air for 2 hours almost. So right there, a little bit right at the beginning. Oh, okay. He's still driving. You still driving, Jeremy?
Yeah, I'm driving.
Okay, no problem, buddy. Todd just wanted us to give you a try and see where you were at.
Keep your head, Jeremy, bro. It's a long grind, man. You got 5.5 hours, man. Don't let it get you. You roll with it, bro. Keep your head straight.
Hung up on a big one. God.
Oh, you missed a big one?
Well, I had him on a bed, and he rolled on it once and chased a fish off, and I couldn't get him. I wasted too much time on him.
That's okay, because you know when you find them, you're going to find them schooled up. So you're going to put a limit up quick, man. Just keep your head, man.
Yep.
What time you think you'll be ready to come? Ready to be back on the water?
I hope to be fishing by 11.
Okay.
Oh wow, you're making a big. Okay, so you're making a decent move then.
Yeah, well, yeah.
So you going all the way down to 9, or are you going today?
I'm gonna look and see what the water looks like and make that call.
Yeah. All right, man. Well, keep your head straight, man. You still got to grind on. He's got one big one, and he's got an 18, and then he's got a 3 small ones. So,
all right.
You know what you can do out there. Keep your head up, man.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna get in them.
All right, buddy. Well, we'll holler at you later on.
Sounds good, guys.
Take it easy.
Be
buddy.
safe.
Later.
Woo! See, I'm telling you, the boy's rattled. He sounds rattled. Rita Baker says you can do it, JB. Keep going. You'll find him. He's still getting a whole lot of support. Kyle just picked him to win, even with the 19.5. I mean, that's the thing about that place. Once you find them, they're there.
He's going to find them. He told me, like I said, he told me yesterday, he said he had 2 on beds, and he wanted to get both of them off bed. He got one. He just told us that he made a mistake already, that he spent too much time trying to get the other one. And he said he's going to move, and he found fish when he moved. So he knows where they're at. So he's going to get on fish. Jeremy Baker is not, I will be shocked to not see him hit 90 inches.
Right on. Well, we're going to take a little bit of a break then, since he's moving spots. Doug Wilson is still unavailable, and then we'll come back on here in a little while once we know Jeremy's back on the water, and we'll see if we can't get some more on the water footage.
Sounds good.
All right. Well, guys, I definitely do appreciate everybody. Like I said, we've had a lot of people watching the video this morning. Tune in here in just a little while, watch the notifications, and we'll be back on soon. We're going to let these guys rest, and I'm going to go get me some breakfast. So I definitely appreciate it, and we'll talk to you guys soon.
See you.